We are here with Mr. Cal Ware.
Hello.
What's
How's
going
it
on,
going?
man?
Hey, I'm not bad, man. How are you doing?
We were just I'm crushing it so far, and I actually need to go soon for my nana. I need to help her with the cat. We have a fat cat, and
Okay.
he's not really strong enough to pick him up, so I have to help her with that.
Okay.
Cal and I were just chatting, and he was showing me his mug that he had.
Yeah.
And for whoever's watching on video, we gotta show that mug. What is it?
Yeah. So it's that's a gift from a friend with it's a British TV show called Toast of London. So it's like the guy Matt Berry. He's a sort of famous UK actor, and it's various faces that he pulls in throughout that series. They're not very pleasant faces, but it's quite amusing. And it's one of those magic mugs, so it's secret and black when there's nothing in it. But as you fill it up, the picture reveals itself. So looking at this when there's nothing in it, it looks like a normal mug. But then,
Wait,
you
what?
know,
That's a thing?
yeah, yeah, there are things. Got quite a few. It's obviously showing its age now, but still one of my favourite, most engaging mugs. Got
It's
your
called
attention
a
already.
magic mug. I'm gonna have to get
Yeah.
one of those.
Yeah, they're great. Get it printed, put something nice on, a nice surprise for a family member or something, but maybe not as uh, garish as this one, maybe.
Maybe we can convince Parker to get a full-time filmmaker
Yeah,
magic mug. That'd be
yeah,
kind of epic.
that'd
And
be good.
yeah, so you're in full-time filmmaker as well. I am too.
Yeah.
How long have you kind of been in there?
In on the course,
Yeah.
in using the course, I would say I purchased it at Christmas, so I got it like last Christmas or the holidays just gone. Um, but it had actually been on my radar for quite a while. So when I started looking at things, as we've seen, like his YouTube videos, the advertisements and things, and so I kept following it and kind of committed to purchasing it because it was the most interesting thing at the time. But in terms of using it solidly and actually sort of using it as a learning tool, probably in March when we went into lockdown here, it was like, right, here's a perfect opportunity to actually engage with it a lot more rigorously and use it a lot more for its intended purpose as opposed to just trivial watching, I suppose. So yeah, it's wonderful. I absolutely love it.
And you said that you're a teacher as well, which is fantastic. I mentioned that my girlfriend is a preschool
Yeah.
teacher too. Since the whole COVID thing, is that what kind of drove you to be like, crap, I kind of want to do my own thing with film, and COVID's kind of shoving that in my face?
Um, just have to apologise for the volume outside. I would say no. It's been my interest in filmmaking um, came long before it. Um, I think if anything, COVID has given me it's been a silver lining for me in terms of giving me some time to actually focus on it. Um, so during the lockdown, I've actually been working with my housemate and a friend who lives here with me, working with his charity and doing stuff. And because we've been in our own little bubble, we live together, going in and out of his place of work and stuff to do some like YouTube tutorials and things to because it's a charity, so we're keeping the charity running. It's been a great opportunity to just get out there and actually make things for fun, but also that's actually getting consumed, which and it's going down really well. I mean, I'm still a complete beginner, but it's been a great opportunity for me to make pretty obvious mistakes when you watch stuff now, and things getting better. So it's been quite a nice motivator. I got in, I've always wanted to work in film or television, sort of since I'm 30 now. So it was 10 years ago, or well, probably 12 years ago now. I went to university here to do music tech, to become a sound designer. That was my original interest in the industry, but that just didn't really pay off for one way or another. So teaching became like my it's what I started to do whilst I sort of got my act together and started getting myself into, right, what do I do? And then because the job was really good and I enjoyed it, things kind of fizzled away from it. But more recently, I've been wanting to get back into it, and I think approaching 30, having I'm not a 20-year-old crisis anymore. I kind of thought, well, this isn't what I want to do. I know where I want to be. I know where I feel like I will belong the most, and that's what got me into it. Interestingly, I was kind of just sat in my room thinking about things, and I was watching. I don't know if you've seen the show Flight of the Conchords.
I have not.
It's a very funny show. It's just about two musicians trying to make it in America. It's a comedy. It's very funny. And I was watching that, and it's like I could edit. I could edit a TV show. I could do that. Very naive of me, obviously, because there's a lot more that goes into it than just cutting. Exactly. So a lot more than cutting and sticking things together. But realised I had nothing to edit or to practice with. So one thing led to another, and I just ended up buying myself a cheapish DSLR to go out and make things. And then before you know it, it's not just editing anymore. It's the whole thing. And it's just become this bigger thing than I could have possibly imagined. And since then, I've just been investing in gear, reading this, watching that. And now I'm in a position where I'm actually going to go part-time as a teacher this October to actually give myself and dedicate some time to the craft and to meet people in the field and all that kind of stuff. So by October, I will be a part-time filmmaker.
I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good for you, though. That's sick. Not a lot of people have the confidence to really take that huge leap because they're like, oh no, what if it doesn't work? And it might not, but what if it does work really well,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm really fortunate in that my role, I can afford to do the transition. I know there's a lot of people out there that won't be able to afford the transition, but I don't have any other responsibilities other than maintaining my own lifestyle, the roof over my head and things like that. No kids or, things like that. So it's like, if I don't do it now, at least I won't question whether I should have 5 or 6 years down the line. I think it's definitely worth a shot. And here in Sheffield, we have quite I wouldn't say it's a competitive market, but we've got quite a nice network. Like there's the South Yorkshire Film, which is the region that I'm in. So the South Yorkshire Filmmakers Network that actually runs out of our city centre that I'm going to get involved with. So just having 2 days might not be going and making my own stuff from a business perspective. It might be networking and just dedicating time and investing time in growing and meeting people. And at the moment, I'm the only person. I need to go out and meet people because I am like a lone wolf at the minute in this world. So
and the meeting people's definitely switched up because of COVID. What are you kind of doing strategy-wise for networking and meeting different filmmakers?
I think
business owners to get business and work.
I think in terms of filmmakers, that's sadly the one that's probably been put on hold the most. I've tried and applied to do loads of experience with TV production companies and things like that. There was a big drive for a London-based TV the production company that organises America's Got Talent, Britain's Got Talent, all those big game shows. That got put on hold. There were some events that I was going to here with the network. That's all been scrapped. So meeting people in the industry, maybe getting a mentor or just working with like-minded people it's not really been my strategy. My strategy at the moment is building up a solid relationship with a couple of the local charities here in Sheffield. My free to fee, which has worked, by the way. I advocate that strongly. Has been through, definitely. Has been a couple of friends who, like my housemate, who works for a charity, which is where we've been doing the YouTube stuff and other little things to help promote their fundraising during lockdown. And another friend, he works for a charity that just don't have the exposure that bigger, more, say, multinational or multi-chain charities get and have. So my strategy has been sort of for one of them, keeping them warm by taking all the footage and things and making, things for free for them, just saying, here's an updated product for you to use, do what you want with it. With the other one now, it's about, I'm actually putting a pitch together of different product ideas for them. So promoting the brand, promoting the products that they sell, the services that they provide, and actually putting together almost like a video marketing strategy for them. And basically just pitching it to them. I think because they don't really have much of that in-house and they don't have a committed budget, plus they could become insolvent, they may not survive this whole thing. They are looking for someone with a bit of advice that might do work for free again and then contribute financially and things to start building those relationships. So I think at the moment it's more get a couple of solid relationships with some good people that appreciate my work and I appreciate the work that they do, and start a bit of word of mouth in and going out that way.
I got to go off on a tangent a little bit, my man. You said
Sure.
you are a beginner.
Yeah.
I'm going to say right now, that is a dirty lie. You are thinking business strategy. You're thinking free to fee. You're thinking marketing packages. You're farther ahead than you think. You're
Do you think?
farther ahead than somebody like me when I got started. Do you know what my plan was?
Go for it.
My plan was, hey, let's rip all of these email addresses off the internet and cold email everyone. That was my strategy. I didn't think about the networking plan. I didn't think about the advertising or the packages. That's sick. That's completely on the right path. And from doing the free to fee, I can say first and foremost, it definitely works. And soon enough, you're going to see results from it. What we do and what I do with my company, we do a lot of social content, and people are kind of like charities. They're kind of like, I don't know if this will really work out. Then you make them a project for free, and then they love it, and then they keep paying you.
That's it. It. That's exactly the road I'm going down. I'm like, as an individual, I'm quite a hasty person. I kind of like to see results quick, and sort of not necessarily get rewarded as such, but not that kind of thing, but certainly I always like to see results quicker. But actually this whole process and taking the time to think things out strategically and all of that has made me slow down, and it's become much more focused and appreciative of these two experiences and these two companies. And it's only two, and it's not it's certainly not full-time filmmaking income, or for me to completely sort of quit my job, but it's certainly a start. So it's really good. Did the cold calling emails work?
Oh, it was terrible. It was absolutely awful. It was the worst thing I ever did. I wasted so much time doing that. And people have asked me questions like, oh, what's a good cold email script and all this stuff. And I've tried it all. I actually was like, look, I'm going to make 1,000 cold emails, and I think it was like a couple hundred cold calls, and just bang through them all, see how many responses I get, see how many deals I book, and then find out my ratio to how many I send out to how many I'll get in, so I can predict future business. I did it. I did get some responses, and it was lots of swearing, lots of angry, lots of lots of how the hell did you get my email? And yeah, not a single client from any of that. It was very bad. What I've found out though, and I don't know if you've tried this, but one extremely useful thing is, and it's so obvious too, which I was like, how didn't I think of that? We use video. We're creators.
Yeah.
Why don't we use video for ourselves? So what I've been doing is sending video proposals. There's a Chrome extension called Soapbox, and on your laptop you can actually record yourself and your screen at the same time. So what is your company name? Right Ladder Productions?
Right Ladder Productions, yeah.
And you are in Sheffield.
Yeah.
Anybody needs film production in Sheffield? Right there. Right Ladder. Is it rightladderproductions.com?
Yes, yeah, it should be. I say should be. I haven't been on there for a while, but this is how I say how beginner I am still. That's the one. That is the one. That's me. So that's how beginner I am. Is that I haven't been on that website in ages. In fact, I think I need to pay for the URL again in like 10 days, otherwise I lose it. But I made that website myself. I went on there and did all that, but I've done that purely for me to share with people. I haven't even registered because I haven't made any income yet. It's all been very much that, I haven't even registered it as a business yet. It's
Right.
very much like get the foundations ready so that when I press that button on registering as a business, it can just move. And there's evidence of things happening, and there's some traction, and also maybe then once it's registered, there's a bit of accountability there as well. So yeah,
Summer fair video right here too.
yes. So that's where limited. Thank you. So I mean that's the charity now that I'm going to be sort of taking a load of stuff from that project, some of the projects that I did for them that might be on there, and sort of re-amalgamate it into a who are we kind of thing, like a video that they can present as a banner on their website or something like that. But just part of what's really interesting and what I would definitely recommend to people is looking back at everything that you do always and looking at how, first of all, how rubbish it is in your eyes as someone who's developing, because the very first thing I did, whilst a lot of people say, no, it's good, you've got some nice composition, there's some nice angles, there's some nice movements. Look at that trendy mask transition you did. I'm still looking at it and going, God, I did it 60 frames per second and the shutter speed was just whatever I thought it should be, like whatever, dial in, and now watching things that I'm making now and being really serious about it and focused and theoretical proper, doing things properly, I would say that my development has kind of taken a massive, shift up. Like my progression is just tenfold from what I was doing before, which essentially was literally running and gunning without any consideration of exposure and all those things that we should do, So I would say go back and look at your work for sure.
You're in a wicked good spot too, because from the people I've talked with, not only in the full-time filmmaker group, but just filmmakers that I know in my personal life, they're good at they're good at filming and they're good at making stuff.
Yeah.
But they don't have the business mindset of, okay, like you said, networking and what's the marketing plan? What are the packages I can sell? Like, do I do an LLC or when do I become an S Corp? Things like that. Like business
Absolutely.
stuff that's super important. And you're in a very good spot because you have that mindset and you also have the course that teaches you all of the technical stuff. So
absolutely.
I'd say at this point, it would really just be a matter of time for you because you're creating that free to fee. You're starting to get those projects in, putting those reps. And Mr. Calware, I actually have a challenge for you.
Okay. Do I need a pen and paper?
No. It's a good challenge. The challenge will be 10 local companies or charities.
Okay.
Somehow rip their email off of the internet or their social media. Social media like Instagram works a lot better, I've found. Literally either just do soapbox or take your phone and be like, hi, my name's Cal. I'm a video producer in Sheffield. I'm a creative business owner. Boom. And just send it off to 10 people and see how many actually are just like, oh, wow. Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
And for me around here in the Marshfield, Massachusetts area, you'd be surprised, like 50% or more at least answer. And they're like, wow, thank you for the video, because it's so personalized. Everybody else knew I was copy and pasting a stupid cold email.
They don't need to know that, though, do they? It's fine.
But yeah, you at least get the conversation going with these guys. And what you said with the networking, they might even throw some work your way and be like, I'll pay you for it, you know?
Yeah, and you never know. Absolutely. Well, I will take you up on that challenge for sure. I will. I'll do that. I'll do that. I've been looking at a few different charities. I've got a few lists, like of people to contact. So I shall take that list and accept your challenge.
Nice. What do you think
Yeah.
your biggest challenge has been? Not necessarily because of COVID, but just as a part-time filmmaker starting out, what has been your biggest challenge that has been hard to overcome? Because
Do you
where do
know?
I start with that breath?
Yeah,
Because
one of the biggest challenges for me is the lack of networking and the lack of people that are in a similar mindset. There's so much that you can learn from other people. Always, like that is the truth of it for any skill. And surrounding yourself with those people and having those conversations, I'm just not having them. And I feel like, not in terms of my sort of confidence and things, but I feel this big in a world that's just full of great people and knowledge and information. And so that's probably my biggest challenge at the moment. That's a tough question. That's a tough question. I'll tell you, one thing is definitely, I'm always thinking about it. I am always constantly like, so I know that this is what I want to do. I know that this is the venture that I want to go down, whether I stay part-time forever or, I want to do this. But it's got to the point where that's all I'm thinking about. Sometimes at work becomes do the job and go home because I want to do this. And I mean, all the time I could be sat with a group of friends socializing, and that's all I'm thinking about. I'm not even listening to conversations. It's kind of become all consuming, which is good. But at the same time, I suppose the challenge has been when to switch off, and deciding how to do that. Do I have a day off during the week? Do I say, right, Sundays is a day of rest and then start again on Monday? Or do I say, well, on a Monday, I'll do this on a Monday evening and keep Tuesday evenings free and getting that balance, because it can be quite exhausting sort of mentally and physically when you're trying to do so many things and you just don't get anything done. And then also, I don't want to put myself off. I don't want to become discouraged or be like, what am I thinking? I'm not getting anything done. This is pointless. That's a big challenge. And that's not the mindset I have, but sometimes I'm like, right, I need to just stop and take a day for myself,
right,
play some video games, watch a few movies, go and socialize and just not even think about it. That's really tough. So I would say to anybody that's, anyone listening, just find out what works for you and take some time for yourself, because you don't want to destroy something that you really love and passionate about, essentially. So what about you? What's your challenge? I'm interested to see what other challenges people have faced.
Challenges for me? Oh boy, where do I even start? Well, I won't go too much into my business journey, but because it's long. I failed about more businesses than I can count on my fingers. One of them was a film production company.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing you know, I start flipping books on Amazon. That has a lot of money coming in. I actually came right around your neighborhood in London. I was like, okay, sold like $3,000 worth of books. Cha-ching, I'm in London, but I'm broke. And next thing you know, I was in houses, actually, believe it or not, as a maid, which maids work very hard, cleaning toilets, scrubbing stuff, and everything. That was my daily job. And next thing you know, I was like, wait a minute, okay, hold up. I'm good at filmmaking. I just failed because I don't see the business side of stuff. I know how to create something good, but I don't know how to get clients and make it into a business.
Yeah.
So I took a lot of time studying all of that stuff, because I know you can be the best filmmaker in the world, but if people can't find you to pay for it, then that's still no income.
Yeah, absolutely, totally.
So that was a huge challenge. And once that clicked, I studied and studied, looked up stuff, trial and error, failed more times than I can count. And next thing you know, I created a little process for myself once I figured out, okay, I've been trying to build the roof to my business and my life, but that keeps shattering. Why? Because I haven't built that foundation. So I was like, okay, let's try and build the foundation. What do I need? And I figured out I'm just going to get one. I'm going to get one ongoing client or whatever that pays me, and I'll go from there. I reached out to one company. I figured, okay, I'm going to send them this video proposal. I'm going to do these steps and strategies that I've kind of figured out and just send it their way, see what happens. I got a response 10 minutes later. He said, hey, I want to see you tomorrow. I went in there the next day. He hired me on the spot for $50,000.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Wow.
now I'm head of marketing at a payroll company just because of that. And I was like, there's something to this. Let me try it again. So I'm working there full time, but I was like, I can do this with my business too. So I tried out the same things. And next thing you know, in the midst of COVID, today I just hired 2 more people to project manage stuff, to work in sales and send out more video proposals. So I was like, this is working. This is good stuff.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at right now. So I think that was the biggest challenge, was that big disconnect from being a filmmaker to being like a business owner, which you have to be a filmmaker to make it. But I was in that mindset of I am a filmmaker. I had to switch to I'm a creative business owner. I have to have revenue coming in. And that was the like ding. But oh boy, it took a while to figure that out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's like here I'm sort of like I'm pretty much the same as you. It's like building those foundations, even if it's just, I mean, one client with that level of income's amazing. That's amazing, you know. And getting those on board, they really are your foundations. I think for me, my process is, because like I've got a similar goal. It's to have 2 consistent, ongoing clients that will give me work throughout a year, but sort of in fits and starts maybe, you know, but at least once that's in place, that's your grounding. You can then fill the gaps with a few others through word of mouth and all those things. I think the process is a lot slower, isn't it, than I initially anticipated. I thought I'll go out there, I'll do a bit, and then they'll be like, yeah, this is great, come back. And they were like, yeah, it's great, thank you, we'll be in touch next time. And then there was a next time, but it wasn't like again and again and again. It's been like 3 or 4. So yeah, that's great. And I think I'm going to sort of look at being a sole trader. I don't know if you have anything similar over in the States where you are essentially your own business.
Sole proprietor, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
So that will be where I go first, and then start looking at maybe sort of turn it into a more production-based company. But I just wanted, like, I loved the brand name, Right Ladder, and all that kind of stuff. I really, really liked it. So I thought, well, I'm going to stick with that. That's going to be like my goal at the top. Like, get to the top of that ladder. This is where I want to be. This is where I am now. And let's do it, so that eventually, hopefully, there will be a small series of people. But that, you know, that's in the future. You know, you've got to put the groundwork in first, and yourself, for sure.
You know what? I'm going to hit pause on this, guys. This has been Cal. And I'll stay on the call with you, Cal, for a couple of minutes just to chat it up. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed.
Yeah, thank you very much.